Yo, what's up, YouTube? Does it bother you that I keep changing my intro? I don't know, I get bored. Anyway, this book is Proxy by Alex London. I'm not sure if this is what it looks like when it was released because I won this copy on Goodreads on the giveaway section. Now this book I put off reading. I read the back and I was like, it sounds interesting, but I have other books on my to-read list. So I put it on my shelf and forgot about it. I read the other books higher on my TBR list. But this book is really good. It's a dystopian book, and I know we're all kind of over the dystopian craze. But this book, while it's dystopian, it's not like any other dystopian book that I've read. This book is, there's Proxies, which is the name of it, Proxy. And when they're young, before they can say no, they basically get bought, and when somebody messes up, the guy who bought them messes up, they take the punishment instead of the rich person who messes up. So it's about a main character, and he is ending up going to like jail or whatever, even though he's only supposed to have like 1 year left on his sentence. So he escapes. He ends up meeting, I can't remember the name, but he ends up meeting the guy who basically bought him, for lack of a better phrase, and he doesn't know, but they end up meeting and escaping and I guess saving the world or whatever. It involves sacrifice and it's action-packed, and it sucked me in within about 20 pages. I was hooked and didn't want to put it down. It's really well written and I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the premise because it's not really like a lot of dystopians. It's kind of, you know, oh, things are bad, there's bad guys, I'm poor, they separated us for seemingly no reason, and how do I make the world better? But the whole concept of the proxies is terrifying, that you can be forced into that without really the option to say no because they do it when they're so young. And it was really well written. It really flew by, even though it's not exactly a thin book. It's got to be 375 pages. But I read it within a day, maybe 2 days, because I just could not put it down. And it really is like an action YA book, more than a dystopian book, even though it does kind of take place in a negative futuristic world. And on the back it says, perhaps disturbingly, it is a story that feels all too plausible. And it really does. While I don't think we're on the track there yet, I could definitely see in a few generations, maybe a few hundred years, something like this happening if things don't change the direction they're on, simply because the gap between upper class and lower class is so wide now. There's not really middle class like there used to be, and at least in the United States, it's kind of all about who has the power, who has the money has the power. And there are definitely examples of the little guy rising up and being able to change things, like the recent market basket thing here in Massachusetts, which was really exciting to see that happen because that hasn't really happened much in recent history. It's definitely possible, but I think people are too placated, and by the time that people realize there's something wrong and they're trying to do something about it, we might be all too close to a system like this, and that's terrifying. So I give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. And if you want a fast-paced read that doesn't really have a dull point, I highly recommend this book. Again, it's a concept I haven't really seen in dystopian novels, so I liked that about it, even though I'm kind of over most dystopian novels. Okay, bye, see you next time.